Hey guys, we're here for another Second Amendment interview, and today we have Roger Nutt. He is a South Carolina House representative. I've known you for a long time.
Yep.
I was thinking about it the other day when I talked to you that it's been, what?
Oh 30? Man, don't even start.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, we were in the band together.
Yeah, in the band together. So I've
best band of all time.
There you go.
I'd have to say.
James F. Burns. He was the drum major. Yeah, so he got to lead us around in our first state championship. So it was a good time.
That was good. Had nothing to do with me, and it's probably all your playing was. I could pick you out.
And we had a bunch of good guys and girls in that band. I know you are a big Second Amendment supporter.
Yes, like all the amendments.
Yeah.
But the second one.
The second one protects all the rest of them.
That's right.
So.
That's right.
But what does the Second Amendment mean to you?
Well, one of the main things that I've been trying to do since I got into politics, and way before that, was I saw how government would always, anything that they did, always ended up restricting somebody's freedom. Mm-hmm. And so I got into politics because I wanted to kind of stave that off and try to at least stop the bleeding. And it's a lot more tougher than I thought it would be. But I was on county council for 10 years, and that's local politics is probably where you can do the most good.
Right.
So when I was on county council, somebody wanted to, they always wanted to talk about other people's property. You need to go tell that guy that he has to mow his grass, or the county needs to come in and mow it, or you need to knock down that guy's fence, or you need to do this and that. And I always tell people, you don't want me having that power. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. Why would you want the government to have the power to come to your house and tell you that you have to remove something that you've built or something that you're doing? They don't like the color of your house. I literally had people come in and say, this guy painted his house purple, and that should be against the rules of our neighborhood or whatever. And so they would say, you need to tell him that he can't paint his house purple. And so that kind of stuff really stuck with me. And so when we talk about the Second Amendment, protecting all others, and it's very true, because the Second Amendment, it's been under attack for forever. But we all know that if that falls, then there's no other backstop for everything else, because you're defenseless, and when you're defenseless against the government, then we don't have any hope.
Right.
So the Second Amendment is like I said, it's first and foremost of what we need to protect.
Yeah. People don't realize that if the government has the power to do something to somebody else, eventually they're going to do something to you.
Absolutely, and will. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the people just don't seem to realize that. Okay, they can do that to them, but they're not going to mess with me because I'm in their party.
Right. Absolutely.
But eventually, it comes back and bites everybody.
Absolutely, it does.
What kind of things do you like to do with the Second Amendment? I think that you do some hunting. And
well, yeah, I've been an avid hunter as long as I was able to pick up a gun. Did a lot of squirrel hunting when I was little. I think I remember, speaking of the band, I remember one Saturday that we were literally we were going to a band contest that day, and I went hunting that morning, and I didn't have any gloves, so I put my white band gloves on because it was cold, and I went out there and I got this squirrel and the blood all over me, and I went to the band contest with red blood all over my white gloves. I remember that because it was crazy. I said, man, I don't have any gloves. Where'd my gloves go? So, of course, you just pick up your band gloves and go hunting. So
mm-hmm.
that was kind of funny, but I do remember that. But I was an avid hunter. I've got people all over the state of Tennessee. That's where a lot of my family was from. They have they have all their guns buried in the out on the farm somewhere,
Right.
And that's not a joke. And it's you know, I don't know where they are, but hopefully before they pass, they'll pass that down. But yeah, it's just been a long line of understanding our freedoms and understanding that guns are a part of life, hunting and everything else, and protection of your family first and foremost.
Yeah. Well, I think I probably know the answer to this next question, but because you were one of the supporters of the bill, but what do you think about the new open carry with training bill?
Well, I was definitely for it. As most people agree, it didn't really go far enough. But incremental wins are incremental wins, and the goal is to have constitutional carry, which I also voted for and supported. And just it's tough to get that through the Senate, and hopefully, you know, good people like Josh and Shane are going to be able to get that done for us. But it's very important. Just if nothing else, it just showcases the fact that we've made a move a little bit. We've got people a little more of their freedoms back. You know, it's not like we're giving them freedom. We have the freedom to carry and to carry it anywhere without any restrictions. But states have, way back in the past, have started restricting that, and we've got to free those freedoms instead of we're not really giving anybody anything. And I don't think that we're not.
We're removing some of the barriers.
Right. We're just removing some of the barriers that were already in place. But hopefully we'll get to that constitutional carry. There's a lot of angst and just in general population about that, but there shouldn't be. Law-abiding citizens don't usually go around shooting people.
Right.
I think there was a quote in the paper a couple of weeks ago. Somebody said, you know, now that people are going to be open carrying, if somebody steps on their shoe walking down the street, somebody else is going to pull out a gun and shoot them. And I just think the silliness of the hysteria is just is bizarre to me. But hopefully we get there. Hopefully we'll get it this year. But if not, we'll continue beating that drum, and we'll get it done eventually.
Yeah, one of the things that I always tell my students when we're doing the CWP class is the concealed carry ones people that have their concealed carry permit are some of the most law-abiding citizens that we have, because out of, I think it was in 2016, out of all of the permits that were issued and were active that year, there was only 1/5 of 1% that got revoked. And that was out of like 300,000 permits. So if there's that few people doing dumb stuff to get their permit taken away from them, the majority of the people are very law-abiding.
That's right. And I think there's a good number out there that don't even carry, but they just wanted to get a permit to have it. And so it's, you know, it's the hysteria is way overblown, obviously, and it's overblown for a reason, that people are trying to get good people not to carry guns.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What other bills or anything might be coming up that will help the Second Amendment?
Well, the main thing is the constitutional carry, like I said, and it's already there. We have a 2-year session. We've only been through the first year. Hopefully, we'll be able to get that through the Senate. It's still there. It's still alive. It hasn't been done away with. So, hopefully, we'll get enough pressure, especially with, you know, open carrying having, you know, maybe a year under its belt. No pun intended. That if you just go in and say, you know, things are working and the law-abiding citizens are doing what they do, which is abide by the law, and you can allow people to get their freedoms back instead of holding back on the reins. So we've got some good people in the Senate, and if they can just, you know, exercise that muscle, and we need everybody and their brother to contact their senator.
Yep.
Because it's, you know, it's close, and I think it can get done. We did a lot of things this year that we never could have done before, which is, you know, the heartbeat bill went by fast. Matter of fact, the Senate, that's the first thing they took up this year. So, and that that hadn't happened ever.
Yeah.
So we've got some good things going, and hopefully they'll get on the ball and get with it. And it's going to take a lot of pressure, but I think they can handle it.
So, do you have anything where people can follow you and see what's going on in the House?
Absolutely. I've got a Facebook page, obviously, Roger Nutt. But I've also got a newsletter that during the session I put out at least once a month, if not once a week sometimes when we got a lot of things going on, and it tells you about each bill that we've done during the session, where it stands, and typically since COVID hit, got a lot of statistics about COVID and links and stuff for people to go to find out some information from DHEC. But I try to do that during the session. I haven't done much of that during the summer because there's not a whole lot going on. But if they'll write to me at roger@rogernutt.com, that's my email address, and I'll get them on the list.
Okay, and we'll have that in the description down below, but it's roger@rogernutt.com. Yeah, and that's N-U-T-T.
That's right.
He's a double nut, so he's got
No
two
doubt.
T's. Okay, so what kind of guns do you like to shoot? Now, I know it depends on the situation you're in, but what's some of your favorite ones?
Well, probably I've got one revolver. It is a .357 Magnum, a Ruger. I've had it for a year or two, and I just like the looks of it. It's a very nice gun. I've got it on with me now, and I don't carry it much. Well, I didn't carry it much before because it's hard to conceal. But,
right.
When I go to the farm or whatever, right now I don't have to worry about leaving the farm, running to the convenience store, grabbing a Pepsi or whatever, and going back. So I've done that. Haven't had anybody stop me and try to accost me yet, or throw me in jail. But so I like that just for the looks, and it's it's quite powerful. I've got a Taurus 9mm, a 380 Sig Sauer that I really love, P238. I've got my deer rifle is a Tikka 3, I believe, and it's got one of those fancy scopes on it that it's like watching TV, and with the deer running through there. So it's pretty neat. But and I'm taking about a 300-yard shot on the deer, and last year, and it didn't work out so well for the deer, but it was good. It was good to go. But I just like having them around. I've got a Judge as well.
I know about the Judge.
Keep that in the bedroom. Don't get it out much, but hopefully I don't ever have to take it out. I've shot it once, and hopefully I don't have to shoot it twice.
Imagine it's a little bit of a kick.
Yeah. You have to. If you wake up all of a sudden and have to do that, you probably have the adrenaline to do it, I guess so.
Yeah. Well, good deal. Well, why don't we go out on the range and let you shoot a little bit.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're out here on the range. Going to let Roger do a little shooting with his Ruger here, and this is I think this is a SP100. Yep, SP101 is what this one is. Nice little revolver. Show us what you got, Roger.
This guy done something bad to me.
Yeah.
All right. Talked about my favorite football team.
He called the Vols in.
Probably need my glasses. Did I even hit it?
Yeah, you got him in the right shoulder.
Woo, that's terrible.
Yeah, shooting a little upper right, or his upper right, your upper left.
Well, that's bizarre. It's about right though.
Got him in the center that time. At least center sternum. There you go.
That's it.
Okay, well, Roger, thanks for coming out and doing the interview with us today.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it.
And check out doubleeaglegunworks.com for more information. Like and subscribe down at the bottom, and we'll talk to you later. See ya.